my lovely beans. This is your captain speaking, Sunny Tako. Welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. Last time, we very stupidly snuck out of the Marchand Tavern into the streets in the middle of the night and nearly got abducted by some royal knights. Luckily, Karma was running patrol and he saved us, and then subsequently, we saved him from a rabid, rampaging group of young women who were just smitten by his beauty, which, who can blame them, right? So we continue to the next day, and I believe we're a little past the halfway point at this point in the story. So let's continue. No, we don't. M and save, not load. Okay. Off to a great start. What? I'm so... You know what? We'll just do this. There we go. Problem solved. You really are a handful. But a delightful handful. Swoon. What a smooth talker. His words keep repeating in my head. I cannot stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. What a gentle kiss on the knuckles of my beautiful, delicate princess hand. My face feels warm, and every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. What is this feeling? What is this feeling? I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma, and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. But then, I am pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all this. I need to tell Parfait and Delora what happened anyhow. Because of the time I'd returned to the Marchand yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception, aka the parlor. It is quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma is sitting at one of the tables, speaking quietly with Parfait and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. I cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. His injury is my fault. If I wasn't so stupid as to go out in the middle of the night when there were clearly people after me, endangering myself and others, surely it would never have happened. So you have yet to hear the entire story? No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that correct? Waltz has been directly involved in this far longer than you have. What about Waltz? What about Karma? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about me? Me? The princess. Princess, you're up early. They all turn to look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber, but still smiles at me. How nice of you to join us, darling. When did he start saying my name without my title? Sometime around yesterday, maybe last night? That's what we noticed, is he just suddenly just dropped all formalities and it just was sunny that. No more princess, just me. Only me. Sunny, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? Sounds a little accusatory, but okay, I'll take it. I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How would I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing when we expressly told you that you needed a chaperone at all times because of the first incident. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wore a cloak to... Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. Whoops! I feel a nudge at my arm and Karma is holding out my cloak with a tired smile. Oh, he went out and fetched it for us, so we can continue to look like adorable little penguin when we leave the tavern. You went back to get this? When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. So, last night? Have I been asleep for 24 hours again? You mean last night? We keep saying yesterday as if this happened during daylight hours. I clearly snuck out in the middle of the night. You've been running yourself dry these last few days, Karma. It's nothing, really. Anything to distract me from my feelings. Thank you. That wasn't heartfelt enough. Thank you, really. It means so much to me that you got my little penguin cloak. Ah, le gasp! What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone. Why is that something so strange? I'm allowed to be grateful. Dolora. Oh, come now. She's not so icy. Sunny is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Sir, gonna make me blush over here. Confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Indeed. Only kidnapped twice. Oh, don't look so dour, Sunny. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures toward me and I flush, unsure of what he's talking about. Did my chest grow? Oh my goodness, I am a woman now. Then I noticed Dolores' eyes are on me too. Oh, perfect, do you see that? What are they looking at? What is everyone What's happening? What's happening? I reach down to grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. The necklace, it broke. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize that there was an extra piece to your necklace? Oh, okay, cool. It didn't break. In fact, it's just an extra piece. Very shattered looking piece, but an extra piece nonetheless. We've done it. We've finally done it. We have done a good deed. It only took several months of living in exile, completely forgotten by everyone that I've ever known and loved. But I finally did a good deed. Congratulations, Princess Sunny. You're still closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only ever felt this way around Mother. Only Mother. Suddenly I'm feeling things without her. I really am a whole new woman. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Sunny, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Wait. Helping Karma escape was a good deed. That was considered a good deed? Nani? She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me, or the fact that he rescued me from crazed knights determined to take me to the palace before any of that even happened. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. Okay, anyways, backtracking. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings, plural, both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. Ouch. Big fat ouch, but we knew it. We knew this was coming. The truth. Give me the truth! What everyone else knows. I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. These people have been keeping secrets. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too, all things considering. And what does Waltz have to do with any of it? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? I have no choice but to agree when Parfait and Delora refuse to say any more, but I'm not happy about it. We've been playing this game for how long, and the secrets are still being kept secret. Absolutely outrageous. I spent the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom, and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. This one's a Chianti, this one's a Chardonnay, that one is a Porto, a specifically reserved Porto, and that one in the corner, that's from the cask of Amontillado. Cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. You'd think I would know myself best. But now, I'll find out the entire story, one way or the other. Maybe it will answer some of the questions I have. Maybe it won't. Either way, I'm finding out today. But why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? That's the real question here. Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Everyone gather around, it's story time. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? No, Rumple. How could you stand to make comments like that constantly? You disgusting fiend. And how can you stand to live a lie? Oof. Oof, the rivalry, it continues. They glare at each other across the table, but Delora silences them, because she is powerful. Delora starts with a story about the Great War, one that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrum Baron, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I got to act, it was too late. Of course it was. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real, less ancient, more like it happened a mere few years ago. 'Cause it did. But wasn't the Tenebrae Bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she is dead? I believe that the Tenebrae Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenebrae, all to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? She really did erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Tenebrae Bearer, was your mother, princess. Dun dun dun! We all knew it. We all knew the mother was sus. This all confirms it. She was the wicked witch all along. What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who's one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch Hildir. Oh, we get a name. Hildir. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother was. She wasn't a witch. I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war. And the years before that. And the time before that. And the time before that. Under Hilda's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hilda was defeated. That goes for the rest of us, too. We were slaves to Hilda. Delora's eyes flickered a waltz. It's the truth. We as in... Oh, snap! Waltz is a witch. Yeah, he is. Waltz knows because he is also a witch. He experienced Hilda's command over the witches firsthand as well. Waltz is a witch. Yes, he is. Sorry for keeping it a secret, princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyway. Not when I'm cursed. Oh man, the secrets are coming out left and right. This is just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hilda's reign, witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. That kind of hurts. Even if it wasn't a marriage of love, like... Ophelia's not my mother. The witch was my mother. And it still kind of hurts to put in that extra emphasis that this is who he always loved. And your mother put a stop to that. Big ouch. So, it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Was that the reason I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? Maybe. He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me! My voice is too loud. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly, I want to cry. But Mother told me so many times not to cry, not to show weakness. I must be strong. But the king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason, I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. or anyone. He is the only one I truly trust. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hilda and her daughter Sunny. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hilda was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? A half-witch. You are a witch as well, whether or not you were ever taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenebrarum bearer. Do you realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me, a witch? The king never said anything. And now I cannot even ask him if this is the truth because I'm cursed. Why would you even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Sunny. I sat on your shelves for almost a year, Princess. There was ice in your heart, and if you had inherited the Tenebrarum in that state, who knows what would have happened. Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delore and Parfait look at each other. Looks? That's not grammatical correct. Look at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who ever tried to tell you about Hilda's true nature. That's probably true. Even now, I'm having trouble believing that they are telling me the truth. It can't be, but Mother would never lead me astray. The whole world feels as if it is collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need fresh air. I need to go out, be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir to the Tenebrarum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angiel with that fairy tale curse of your mother's. The men that are looking for you, Sunny, were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together. But why? How? In what way? In what way would they work together? Who is the snitch? This must be a part of Alcaster's scheme to steal the throne. Alcaster? What? What are you talking about? Hello? Alcaster, the commander, the great knight himself? Fritz's father? No, say it isn't so. The reason why Garland and I left the Order of Caldero is because the king did not believe us about Alcaster's coup. How would he know of the princess's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. But now we know that it's not just the witches looking for the princess, but the knights of the Order of Caldera as well. Most concerning. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Someone indeed. Sunny, darling. He reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder, makes flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I'm having a panic attack. This is too much, too soon. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. It is a lot to take in. It really is. Your whole life has been a lie. I mean, how would you feel? The one and only person you ever trusted in your entire life, you find out, has just been brainwashing you and gaslighting you to only believe that they're what you need. And then you find out that they're evil. And more than that, it's your own mother, your own flesh and blood, the one person who is supposed to take care of you. And then you find out that there's a rat in the nest and someone is snitching and trying to take over the kingdom while somehow working with the witches. It's a lot of responsibility for someone who's not even 18 yet. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hilda, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum bearer, a witch, the first witch to kill a human. The queen bee, if you will. The witch that started the fairy tale curse. All this time, I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? Oh, oof, there's a harsh reality. I stay in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I have been told. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days I felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Add some normalcy to my life. Maybe it will make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually, he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Oh, gotcha! Who's the sneaky one now, sir? Oh, sorry. Oh. I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I have not spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Oh, that's so sad. Still, I came here on my own, and I cannot just stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Julian and Garland? Oh, I only trained with Garland. Julian is on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. Oh, did you know? It seems you did too. We still talking about entering the clearing? Sonny, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It is not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever have wanted to pair up with someone like me anyway? The words, they're harsh tonight. Why, princess, that's because I am bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. I am a selfish princess. But now, I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Isn't that even more selfish than I was before? Maybe so, but I believe you are being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. True facts. Just spitting straight truths over here. Happy? Ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment toward everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That is why I cannot complete my good deeds, because I am bitter at the world. Wrong. You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Sunny. Regardless of the motivation, you are trying to become a better person. That is what matters. He takes a step towards me, then puts his hand on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. So close. Kiss, kiss, fall in love. It is never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. Oh my god. What? How could I have taught Karma anything, honestly? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Sunny? He's standing too close. Too close. I can't do it. Yes, you could tell me a story, but I need space. I need air to breathe. You're too handsome. I can't take it. He lets out a sigh as I step away. The story better be just as dramatic as mine. I mean, really, you've got quite a number to top. Thank you, Sunny. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. What, step away because I was flustered? Was I distracting? Am I as distracting to him as he is to me? Oh my. Getting spicy in here. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brugantia. Brugantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms. So this isn't make-believe? This is a real story? Is it his story? Are we finally getting more Karma backstory? His name was Claude Edric Renaldi Matthias Almont. Finally, the long, rich, pompous name I've been waiting for this whole game. But because the name was such a mouthful, he settled for an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace, where it was acceptable. Claude, K-A-R-M-A, Karma. Dun dun dun. His real name's Claude. It's a terrible first name. I like Karma better. Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Anything, everything. Fame, riches, power, beauties, every night, you name it. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then one day he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. One day, huh? Just one day. Oh god, I just splashed myself with water. Too thirsty up in here, I guess. The universe said I needed to calm down. Anyways, she agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object and broke the poor woman's heart. And she cursed him. Oh, snap, the girl was a witch. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. Some real Beauty and the Beast vibes. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He has been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assume he is dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angriel seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Sunny who, on her 18th birthday, could dispel any curse. Karma. He looks so sad. I don't even know how to comfort him. Claude? Oh, blush, blush, blush! Karma, Claude, turns a startling red as he stares at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Is it the blushing contest now? Isn't that your real name? Am I not allowed to call you that? We're both royalty here. It should be fine, right? And no, darling, it is, but hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. Goodness. The spice, it continues. My cheeks are warm again. How is it that he is always able to make me feel this way? It's called love. I will call you by that name if it makes you so happy then. Not that I like you or anything, Baka. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here, darling. Sparkle. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. Oh, really? More special? At that moment, Garland comes in and ruins the entire atmosphere for practice. Claude is favoring his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with the injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's like me. A noble cursed for being selfish. But how do I help break his curse? Why can't he tell me? Why won't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Julian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. Oh my goodness, we're still on this. The two idiots in love. Just say something already, please. The two men sheathe their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, and yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? Because it's amazing how easy things are with open communication. Garland? Yes, princess? Enough's enough. You have to tell her. Do it! Claude told me before that confessing is hard. But what Garland is going through looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable. But if you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything that I already have with her. I mean, yes, you do have a point, but if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Ugh. Sunny is right. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. It's time. It's time. It's been time. It's been several years past time. But before Claude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess. What changed? He's on my side now? It's because I voiced my real opinions? Must be. If I mess this up, Let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine that Julian is Sunny. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? I frown at the two men, arms crossed. First of all, we're completely different people. The way I want to be confessed to is in a private, romantic, grand gesture. I don't think that's Julian's taste. Excuse me? Well, you and Julian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. I think that's where the similarities lie. That's where they end. Confess to the princess? Yes, please. I'd like to see this. My eyes move to Claude, but only fleetingly, before they are once again on Garland. You just need to do something simple. Something that will not rub her the wrong way. She's a genie in a bottle. You have to rub her the right way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he is looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and have to look away. He's too pretty. Oh, Sunny, your tomato red again. It's adorable. Stop it! I cross my arms over my rapidly beating heart again, push the scowl on my face. How dare you call me adorable? No, I was just thinking about what Garland could do. Not about your pretty face or any of the smooth words you talk to me. Something simple. Like when Karma kissed my hand, Focus. This is not about Karma. Garland kissing Julian's hand is probably not a good idea. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did that one day in town. He could buy her some food and they can just talk and go on a proper date like normal human beings. Garland, have you ever just asked Julian out for food? You know, like on a date? Not alone. Julian is practical and she always eats at the tavern. And she's also always on duty if she's available. Oh, I'll take her patrol shift 2 nights from now then, and tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. Treat her to something nice. We can make your invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls, or I could even give you a rose. That sounds like way too much. Just too extra. Like a terrible idea. Yes, it's too much. I am offended. No, you're not. Not really. I feel like if I did something like that for Julian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Which is a fair assessment. Sounds like another lady that I know. Crappy. Claude grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Now's not the time. It's too flirty up in here. Quit making Garland a third wheel. Garland, just ask her normally, and then when you are out and alone together, you can confess. Simple as that. And I'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposefully come late to practice tomorrow night so you can ask her out for that date. How does that sound? You two really think I can do this? Well, I think you can, but will you? That's another question altogether. Don't chicken out on us now. I've invested too much time into this lover thing. You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. And you can get some closure and move on already. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Or I could drown. Ooh, the puns. You won't drown, Garland. You're the best swimmer in our entire night squad. Garland excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me, expectantly with a mischievous grin. Is it because we're alone? No, Sonny, we'll come here early tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. Spot them? Of course, we need to make sure that our efforts pay off. I mean, yes, but I don't think we should. What if one of us gets clumsy and make a rustling in the bushes and alarms them? We could ruin the whole mood. It took so long to get here. Nothing should sabotage it. You don't want to see how it plays out? No. I mean, yes, but no. For some reason, I am imagining myself in Julian's position. It feels too personal. Probably because it is. It's a very personal thing. Claude's likeliness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Darn these thoughts, they keep wandering. Sonny, you've been oddly out of it today. He reaches a hand toward me, then abruptly pulls away. I stare as he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. Oh, is he embarrassed? The conversation between us begins to die and return to the merchant. Aw, they're shy. Cute. Days passed, and though I did not spy on the conversation between Julian and Garland, I noticed that Garland has been smiling from ear to ear during his practice with Claude recently. Things must have went well. I can only assume so. Claude took the patrol shift tonight, and as I lie in bed, I am restless. Every time I watch Claude practice with Julian and Garland, I am reminded of the palace. Of Fritz, my dear beloved knight, poor little Fritz. How has he ever gotten along without me? And how is it that he remembers me so? How is he doing? Is he still practicing with the other knight? My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. Claude had to save me every single time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air is cool, and no one stops me from standing just outside of the margin. I cannot just sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I don't want Claude to get hurt because of me again. I swear if you are sneaking out after hours again doing something reckless, I'm gonna lose it. That means you've learned nothing. Eventually I see Claude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual. But when he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Sonny, what are you doing out here tonight, love? Oh, he said love. Oh my. Love instead of darling. That's new. Hello, Claude. You can play at that game. If I have to blush, so do you. His face is dark red again. I win. If you're using my real name, I suppose you've come to ask for something serious. How could he know that? Well, I do need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I am right here, love. Sparkle. What? Oh, is this not about... Oh, never mind. I'm asking if you will be my instructor. A shoulder to cry on. What would I be upset about that I'd be crying? Who is keeping more secrets from me? For some reason, I have seemed to caught him off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. What? I want to learn how to use the sword, and I want you to be my instructor, of course. It's only natural. Claude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use a sword. I do not want you to have to keep protecting me. I don't mind protecting you. Well, I do. I should know how to defend myself, bare minimum. You can't be there forever. It's just simply not practical. Claude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And let's be real, at this very moment I'm not technically a princess, so... You are? I do not want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Oof, the truth comes out, the real reason. I don't want someone else to get hurt. I'm learning to care. Teach me, please. Claude. Blush. Once again he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction, and it is both amusing and endearing. Cute. It won't be easy. Well, I wasn't expecting it to be. After all, look how tiny and frail and petite I am. I've never lifted more than the broom in this tavern before. Think of it as the next progression after carrying all of your bags around town for months on end. Surely I'm strong enough to pick up a sword by this point. All those shopping bags. Shopping should be it should be a sport. It really should. Claude stares at me for a long time before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine, I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the knight's training swords. Thank you, Claude. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? My goodness. What? We're moving along so quickly all of a sudden. You said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? You looked so exhausted just a second ago. Now you want to train? All of a sudden? Already trying to get out of training? Oh. I am not. You brute of a commander. He shakes his head, but is smiling. I'll see you there in a few minutes, love. Oh, love. Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with gentle light. Long minutes pass, and I stand in the clearing. I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Claude to be late. Is he tending to his injury? I hear a rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is. But the minute I do, I am pulled back by strong force, and my world goes dark. Oh, not this again. No, I am not getting kidnapped in the woods. Before I can scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Lesson 1, Sonny. When apprehended by an enemy that you can't see, remain calm and use your 5 senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. This voice is coming from right behind me. Spicy. Claude? I become aware that this is the closest he's ever been to me, with my back pressed against him like this. Panicking disorients the mind, That is why you must remain cool under any circumstance. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm, even though my heartbeat is beating out of my chest. Use your claws. Lesson 2. Enemies will often let down their guards when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponent off guard by remaining calm and locating this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Claude instructs, and I feel it is a bit easier, but only because I know it is Claude. In the same situation with another stranger, I might freeze and panic again. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so that I can swing an elbow back at Claude's stomach. Before that happens, Claude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I had put. In the process, he moves his hand from my eyes to my mouth. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponents will usually always be stronger than you, Sunny. Remember what I said about a weakness. Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they are winning. Just like I have. An opening? A thought occurs to me as I glance around me and then down at Karma's bandaged hand. Karma's bandaged hand is over my mouth. Is this an opportunity or a trick? What will you do, princess? What kind of tactic would remove you from my grasp? Oh, man. Bite his hand or topple him? Bite his hand or topple him? On the one hand, on the hand, we could bite his hand. It's right there. It's so obvious. It is already injured. But at the same time, it was injured because of us, and that would make me feel bad. At the same time, I am a princess, and I really don't think I'd be able to topple him. This is not judo. I do not know how to just throw him over my weight. It would be hilarious if I could do that, though. I feel really bad, but I gotta do it. A woman must use what is at her disposal. I'm going to bite it. I gotta bite the hand. I'm going to feel terrible about this, but I have to try. See? It's even canon. I try to shift my head to get enough space to bite down, and even Claude cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I injured. I just can't do it. It makes me feel too bad. I have a heart now. Unable to do anything else, I mutely shake my head and I hear Claude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns at me. Oh my, it just got very spicy. I need some water. You're not even going to try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth, the one with the injury, the bandages. I'd meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen. How was I supposed to know that? I'm a princess. Not tonight. Not to warrior. This is only my first lesson. Well, experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have a complaint about that particular lesson, but I'll withhold it for now. After all, I have no experience. This is the experience. And that was a pretty good attempt, love, but not good enough, I'm afraid. Am I gonna be punished? I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? And you weren't expecting those knights to come at you in the bar either when you snuck out in the middle of the night. You weren't expecting a swarm of women to try and abduct me. Yet here we are. I glare back at him, unable to say anything because he's absolutely 100% correct. You're oddly quiet. Well, it's hard to find an opening to hurt you when you are not really my enemy. Oh, aren't I? He does not move, but continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to... kiss, fall in love? Close enough to what exactly? Girl, you're killing me. The suspense. Sonny, do you trust me to protect you? That's not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning on investigating the witches on your own? No, well, maybe, but mostly I want to be able to protect myself because I do not want you getting hurt protecting me. I thought we already had this discussion. Claude leans down and I can feel his hair at my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop, and all I can hear is my heartbeat and how his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let it go, do you? Claude pulls away from me before I can respond, and he's standing again, offering me a hand. I take the hand. I pull him back down. We wrestle in the grass. Well, let's get started with some sword work then. The pleasant smile is back on his face. I can never tell what he's thinking at times like these. What are you really like, Claude? I think everything we've seen is pretty close to what he's really like. I mean, let's be real here. Thorny Rose. When I returned to the margin later that night, my hands are scratched, and I think I might have bruises on my arms. Nothing permanent, though. Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me. Well, he must have went at least a little bit if there was no permanent damage. But he did compliment me more than once. Ooh, compliments! We love a good compliment. Sonny, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. So strong. Much wow. Impressive. Crying is for the weak. Though everyone should be sleeping, I noticed that the light is still on at the tavern. I see Durian and Garland up and at a table, speaking with each other and laughing. If Claude had come back with me, he would be happy to see this. You two are still up. They're not even surprised when they turn to face me. Good days like this are even better when stretched. I haven't been off duty in a long time. Did you both have a good time tonight? Oh, it was great. Garland knows these little places in the town that I've never even heard of before. I noticed that Jurian is more energetic than usual, her smile a little wider, her eyes sparkling a little brighter. I wonder if she's drunk. Could be. Or maybe she's just love drunk. I'm going to get another drink. Maybe just drunk then. Another drink? How many has she had? Garland leans in toward me, his voice hushed. We already bought a replacement bottle when we were out today. We would never take anything from Marchin without money. Really wasn't concerned about that. Don't know why you felt the need to tell me. Right, so is Julian drunk? Is that what's happening here? Oh no, Princess, tipsy. It's like a buzz. Fades a lot quicker. Was this written by an American or no? Because maybe it's a matter of region. But as far as I know, everyone considered tipsy the next step after buzz, but right below drunk. I mean, so I would say no, it doesn't fade quicker. It fades quicker than being drunk, surely, yes. No. Garland, we need to talk. I need to coach you on the terms of tipsy, buzz, and drunk. I feel like you're not quite there yet. Oh. Garland and I watch Julian as she refills her glass at the bar. I have to thank you, Princess. I would never have asked her out if you and Karma hadn't insisted on her. So you told her? He looks at me with a pleased smile. I'll take that as a yes. Well, she didn't really realize until much later. I just asked her out for food, and she thought that's all it was. Maybe Julian really did need to be told bluntly. Yes, she did. Like I said, two idiots in love. My goodness. They both have been feeling the same way for so long. So, what happened? Tell me all the juicy details. I told her. Uwu. And that's not exactly very informative. I want the juicy details. We talked and remembered old times. He sounds like an old man. And I held her hand. Oh my god, they're too cute. Stop it. What a himbo. I love him. I noticed Garland flinch ever so slightly, but he's smiling. He looks pleased with himself. He held her hand. And the night's not over yet, so maybe I'll get a kiss. Oh my god. A hopeful smile. And he raises his eyebrows. Oh, I love it. And what about you and Karma? What about us? I've asked him to train me. We weren't doing anything foolish in the grass in the forest. Absolutely not. I'm a princess. Train? Princess, you've asked him to teach you how to use a sword? Question mark? What's this? Our princess is going to pick up a sword? Right on, I approve. Julian returns to the table, but I'm too tired to properly join in the conversation. I should leave them to their conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. Plus, I still have chores to do. Lord knows, Mr. Broom surely gives me a handful through the day. I excuse myself to head upstairs. I am startled awake by an excruciatingly bright light. It is momentary, and when it is over, I am sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. Was it the apocalypse? Did the sun explode? What is the bright light? My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. Oh, we got another piece. Wait, what was the good deed? What was the good deed? Oh, it's still jagged as ever, I see. There's another piece. But when did I do another good deed? That's what I'd like to know. We haven't done anything for a few days. I grasp the necklace tightly in my hand as I make my way to the tavern. Was the good deed not murdering everyone on the spot for keeping me lifelong secrets? But that was several days ago, so... Was the good deed, not kissing the crap out of Karma in the middle of the woods? I think that's a good deed. Self-restraint right there. Everyone is doing their pre-morning chores when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma glaring off into space, and then not far from him, the two knights. They haven't been up all night, have they? Just talking away? It is clearly bright outside. It is beyond dawn. It's practically high noon. I make my way slowly over to them. Even back then, you were like some kind of shadow, weren't you? You don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were tailing me back then. I know I'm pretty fabulous. Hair toss. It was only because I was worried about you. I realized you really didn't have to follow me, Lan, but I'm glad you did. Lan? Jurian. Oh, shush. Fritz used to call you that, too. Lan is Garland's childhood nickname. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. I see. So, what are you two talking about? Oh, we were just reminiscing. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. They both exchange a glance before looking at me confused. Well? Well, what? How did your date go last night? No one's telling me any of the juicy goss. I want the gossip. Give me the tea. Spill it. Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Julian's eyebrows quirk, and then she laughs. Oh, that. It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see that the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Julian is usually busy taking her rounds around the margin with a scowl on her face. She looks happier being here with Garland. More relaxed. You might even say that we're dating now. It's about time. Finally. Isn't it funny how red he gets, princess? Funny how red everyone gets. The blushies, I can't. You were blushing just as much as yesterday when I... Oh, one more word, Lan, and I swear I will punch you so hard. You won't be able to feel anything for weeks. The two of them are both blushing now, and the scene is oddly comical. Who knew that the two great knights of the Order of Caldera could be so easily undone? Both of you are amusing to watch. The two of them stare at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remember that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. They were talking about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact that they all served the king. I had always thought Julian and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, with that stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosity is piqued. Do you mind if I ask what your reasons were for becoming knights? Oh, my father was a knight. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Julian's father was a living legend in his own right, and he had the medals to back it up. My father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Judging by the look on Julian's face, it is clear to me that she really loves her father. My mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lan and his family. Lana always got annoyed when I called him my brother. Now I know why. Dorks. Jurian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Then, why did you join the Night, Scar? Because he wanted to watch over me. Maybe. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Garland seems to blush even harder at that. And Jurian's laughter becomes infectious. I feel amusement begin to bubble up as I watch the two of them. But a cold voice cuts through the laughter in the atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. Could you keep it down over there? I turn and see Claude's eyes, normally so warm, are cold. His usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Oh, we're sorry? He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I can tell him about the necklace. Karma, I got another piece to my necklace. Another good deed. Claude turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. That's nice, darling. Darling, not love? I really enjoyed when he called me love. His voice is calm, but flat and lacks any enthusiasm. That felt lackluster and oddly disappointing. A good deed? Congratulations, princess. You're close to breaking your curse. What did you get the good deed for? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it was for helping Lan confess? I hear you and Karma went out of your way to help make it happen. That happened yesterday, though. Well, maybe the magic was waiting to see what became of Garland and I. Claude makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. If you do insist on being so affectionate, you should get a room. Affectionate? Jurian's smile has faded away into a dangerous scowl, where Garland looks confused. Jurian looks notably irritated. The shadow is still there on his face. Claude does not look okay at all. To comfort or to scold? To comfort or to scold? Should I ask how he's doing, or should I just be pissy that he's pissing in everyone else's Cheerios? Frankly, I was quite enjoying the little lover nonsense there, so, you're ruining the atmosphere. If you don't want to see it, you can leave. It doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Honestly, irritation is no excuse for rudeness, Karma. Fine. I apologize. Happy? He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted into a defiant scowl. But it doesn't hold long. Who do you think is more stubborn here, me or you? Because I guarantee you it's me. Try me. That's right. Moments later, his expression softens and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? Because he gave up so easily? Because he did not challenge? Because he did not speak what was on his mind as usual? Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with two knights. I wonder what's wrong with him. You think we've been running him too thin because of practice? I do not think it's you two. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from saying what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange, distant. And recently, he is getting more and more moody. Princess? I look over at Anise, who is smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Broom is getting kind of restless. Mr. Broom is still animated? I thought the spell was only for when I learned how to sweep, and did it on my own accord. Am I not doing it on my own accord enough? Probably not. Time to sweep, I suppose. Well, maybe cleaning will help get my mind off of things. I do find cleaning does at least get the irritation out of my system. I'm in a bad mood, cleaning will do it. Scrub all the negativity away. The rest of the day goes by slowly. I'm stuck cleaning most of the day, and then serving later. At one point, I speak with Delora about the knights that had attempted to kidnap me. She tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still do not understand what their suspicions are. One Sir Alcaster cannot possibly know who I am. He isn't cursed. He's not a witch. He's definitely not a fairy. Unless he is. My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with a sword. I noticed that both Julian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves for patrol, while Julian remains at a table looking deep in thought. I do not want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude instead. I go to his room, but find that the door is locked. I mean, you shouldn't, again, did we not learn a lesson? We can't just walk into people's rooms. Karma, are we training tonight? No answer. My heart sinks. Is he not speaking to me? He's ignoring me? But what could I have possibly done wrong? Is it because I scolded him instead of comforting him and trying to understand his feelings of grumpiness? I mean, I'm grumpy in the morning. I don't particularly want to see lovey-dovey nonsense first thing in the morning either. Maybe we were too harsh. Maybe just a little bit. Did I do something wrong? For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what is bothering him. Let me guess, something to do with the curse that he won't tell me about. I feel so useless. When Claude did appear in the tavern, or out in the town, he still had that terrible grimace on his face. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. If you're so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone. Please. I'm really beginning to worry about him. Today I am in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It has been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I needed to do something for him. I know he likes dresses, and he told me once that he likes roses. But can I really find something that will cheer him up? Perhaps he would like some jewelry? Waltz, do you remember where that jewelry store Karma likes is? I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this like a deed? What you're doing right now, did Do you think it would be a good deed? Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Well, generally, yes. Well, I doubt this will count as selfless. I am doing this to cheer Karma up. That sounds pretty selfless. But it's also so that he goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. I've heard that Karma has been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Because I want to be able to protect myself. And it's not like I can use magic. At least sword fighting gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. But on your 18th birthday, when you become the Tenebrarum Bearer, you'll be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. Oh, what a sweetheart. I love him. That would be nice. Though that does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Walt starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to look at him, confused. Karma's important to you, isn't he? He's my partner, and he's helped me. He's also been patient with me, and smiled even when I've said some really inconsiderate things to him, and compliments me in ways that I would not expect, and is gentle. He's kind of an ass sometimes, but he really doesn't mean it. I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. Oh, Waltz, you sweet baby. My friend. Claude does not feel like a friend. He feels like something else. A crush, perhaps. Oh, Princess. Is this the one you were searching for? Waltz points to a peddler sporting different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way toward it. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few moments I feel myself drawn to everything. The princess in me says, shiny things go click-clack. Then I notice the price tags. Oh yes, I'm not a princess anymore, I'm a peasant. I can't afford such luxuries. I barely have any money left from when the king gave me that pouch. I cannot afford any of this. Maybe we should do our errands first, and then look for a gift. Maybe we'll find something as we look through the stores. But if I don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give it to him tonight. Princess? Look for Karma's gift first. Run errands first. I mean, there's nothing that says we can't get our important things done first and still get the gift today. We just might have slightly less time to do so. I mean, I'm sure they have a hold system in place. We could always ask someone to hold something. We see something we like and be like, can you hold this? How long are you open till? Please stay open until I'm done with my errands and hold this for me if I'm not back by tonight. By the time the sun sets, then you may sell it to whomever. Yeah, that'll go over real well. Only in today's society. Well, he is right. We might find something on our way. We should run the errands first. It's only the correct thing to do. Walt has a good point. We might find something while we do the errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it is not right for me to put Claude above everyone else, I suppose. People have to eat, I guess. We spend a few hours gathering the supplies needed for the tavern, and only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. Oh, what a gentleman. It's fine. I'm used to carrying lots of bags. Not that Karma ever pulls his weight. Why do I like him? Don't know. Does Karma make you carry them around? That is an angry, grumpy boy face right there. He does not approve of this ungentlemanlike behavior. Princess, you should really tell him off. He does a lot of other things for me, but next time, maybe I will. In fact, I think I will. Yes, next time, whenever he stops sulking and we go about our normal routine, I will surely give him a good scolding. So long as he gets out of his room sometime soon. I really hope he does. Hey, Princess. But now the problem is finding something that he'll like. What does Claude like? Princess. Oops, not listening. There's no reason for you to shout. Maybe he did shout, but I did not shout, so I don't... Now it sounds really exaggeratory. He shakes his head at me, but at least he's smiling. Let me offer you a deal. A deal? If you help me set up one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. You earn money from your puppet shows? That condescending look on her face. I get tipped. So what do you say? I won't go easy on you, though. Yes, I suppose I'll help you. That shocked face. Why do you seem so surprised? I was just thinking that everyone's right. You've really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as a partner really was a good idea. Why do you look so sad when you say that? Stop it! Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I have done the same for him. Ouch. Subtle jab there. I'm sure Karma would be very happy that you were buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from admirers isn't the same thing as you getting him something. He receives gifts from admirers. For a few moments, I think about the woman who chased us in town a few weeks ago. I feel a little unpleasant stab in my heart. What is this feeling? Jealousy? Loving, unadulterated loving. Small things. A man will treat him to a dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. I always make Karma accept those gifts without killing the man. Oof. Ouch. Big yikes. Killing the man. It's dramatic, but it sounds like Karma. He did punch Rumple when he asked him to marry him, joke or not. Karma wears his disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much a child. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? Tell me all the secret, the juicy details. His curse? He never really talks about it. Claude may be even more stubborn than me if he's not letting anyone help him with his curse. Waltz and I continue our search for a gift. He tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive, and that he'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Hello, madam. Sir, what can I help you with today? It will not break. It will not... Oh, it broke. Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings. He then shows me necklaces, and I realize belatedly that it as It is as if, there we go, goodness, as if I am searching for something for Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in defeat, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. What's that one? Oh, that's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned to the chest. Good for both men and women and non-binary alike. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. Simple, but lovely. It's fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers against it, and I realize the pendant opens. It's a locket! Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. A small lock of hair, a picture, a trinket perhaps. A trinket inside a trinket. This is perfect. I look at the price tag, and after making sure that it is not too expensive, I pay the shopkeeper. Waltz pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back toward the march-in together. Additional fee? I'm sorry. Are we talking taxes here? Are we talking sales tax? Are we talking a on-demand type of tax? Savvy! Hey, welcome aboard. We're out shopping. When we return to the march-in, I go to my room to tuck the locket into a drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my chores. Oh my goodness, that feels like a run-on sentence. Your favorite thing to do? Shopping? I actually don't like shopping that much. Just as I expected, Claude is not downstairs today either. Julian and Garland have taken to training with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. I mean, wasn't he helping them as a favor, so can they really be upset about it? At the end of the day, I hurry to my room, where I write a few words on a piece of paper that I put into the locket. It's a note, it's a love note. I'm cooking, so I'm going to lurk right now. That's fine. Dang, it's already almost 5. Gotta hurry up this chapter. We got other shenanigans to get to. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead, and heartfelt thanks. It's kind of cheesy. Almost as cheesy as, my love for you will last as long as these roses are alive, and then buy a fake rose so that it never dies. I hold the locket tightly in my hand and start toward Claude's room. Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. But it's a heartfelt gift, with a handwritten note inside. I pause at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered his room. Yes, it was quite spicy. I'm sure it's okay if I just go in. Girl! We have got to stop just going into people's rooms. That is not proper etiquette. Please knock. Learn to knock. I open up the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. And he's shirtless once again! And there's that tattoo, but it seems different. Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and then I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. Oh my goodness. Now we're alone together, in a man's room. Indecent. The door closes, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first, there's just shock on his face, and then suddenly, anger. Again. Why do you do this again, Sonny? Should we play it smooth, or should we just come right out and say, I have a present? I think we should play it smooth. Present? Just go out and say the present? Be blunt. Oh no. Okay. Well. I tightly grip the locket in my hands as I stare at him. And this was so important, so very essential, that you once again missed knocking on my door for a simple delivery. Oof, I think we angered him more. I wanted it to be a surprise. I am not in the mood for surprises, princess. Ouch. He hasn't called me princess in a minute. Oh, snap. Super shirtless, super in my face. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me, his hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. Cabedon! It's getting real spicy now. His face is so close, his expression so fierce, that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him. Without getting angry, without crying, definitely without blushing like a lovesick fool. I will not show any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Sonny that I know would do. Then you don't know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. I already have a retort prepared when I stop, realizing that he's right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't. But I'd like to, if you'd let me. If you'd share a monocle of personal information about you, instead of just completely sidestepping the conversation and making it about trivial things or about me instead. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' business? Because we're partners. That's the only reason. It has to be. I am supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirk, but his smile is sardonic at best. Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, at the thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful, but it also seems so lethal. Does it? Oh, yeah, it does look pretty lethal. I mean, that tattoo's like right around his heart. Yikes, big yikes. Does he die with his curse? Dun, dun, dun. When I glance up at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. And you bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder? For what? Princess, you can't imagine what this all feels like. What is he talking about? And that woman. I thought we were meant to be. She was so lovely, her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. He's not even looking at me. That's why. Never again. But then you ruined everything, Sonny. You cut me down like... I push my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back away from me. This is getting too emotional. He's far too close. Could be an angry kiss scene at any second now. I cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world to yourself then. The locket I'd bought for him burns in my hand, and I end up throwing it at his feet. Wait, come back. I ignore him as I run from the room. When I return to my room and lock my door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to even breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep, but only have snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Oh my god, are we getting another dream sequence? Mother, are you and Father in true love? Like the fairy tales? I thought I forbid you to speak of fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, Mother, I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. Then I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in the palace is. But Mother, the true love in fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I can fall in true love with a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. But the love between a mother and her child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. All other kinds of love is an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, Mother. Chapter 8, The Lost Prince. Keep your stance straight, Princess. Julian gives me the warning, but too late on purpose. So brainwashy. Yeah, I don't know if you were lurking before, but we had some major truth bombs happen earlier in the stream, Savvy. There was a whole powwow and everyone was like, listen, it's time, we gotta tell you. Your mother was the head witch, the Tenebrarum bearer. She's the one that invented the fairy tale curse and did the taboo and killed a human. And when you turn 18, you're gonna inherit that Tenebrarum crystal, and you're suddenly gonna have all this magic and power, and that's why people want to kidnap you. Also, there might be a coup, so your whole family might be murdered any day now. Yep, you might want to go back and rewatch that later. It was a whole thing. Uh-huh. I'm just gonna watch you freak out in the chat while I drink my water for a minute. So yeah, the whole sus radar on the mom, totally accurate, totally justified. Yep. Big fact, wow, big fat facts. It was a whole thing. It was even revealed. I know what I'm doing later. Rewatching all of my streams. But you should be doing anyways. I'm here for stories. I'm here for content. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defenses and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. I got you. Noted. Again. For the last few days, I've been practicing with Jurian and Garland because Claude still hasn't come out of his room. Oh, you missed it. Jurian and Garland, the two idiots in love, finally are together. We finally pushed Garland to ask Jurian out on a proper date. So that whole side quest is finally done. The knights offered to train me, and right now they are teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. We got a little bit of Karma's backstory. He's a prince. He's a prince from a neighboring kingdom. He was much like our princess here, that he was very vain and self-centered and a brat. He is the only character that finally has the ridiculously long, pompous name that he should, that I've been waiting for. All of his name's initials spells out an acronym, Karma, so that's where the Karma nickname came from. His real name's Claude. Yeah, so he fell for this beautiful woman. After only a day, he asked her to be his girlfriend, and then a month later he dumped her and turned out she was a witch, and that's how he got cursed. He made me so angry that one day that I could not even properly give him my gift. I just threw it at him. Yet, I still feel sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus. Pay attention. We're having a fight here. Life or death, even if it's just training. I jolt out of my reverie and nod at Julian. Okay, I'm ready. I ready myself for a next strike and once again get tapped, this time on the hip. Garland takes over after Jurian, and then when we do rounds where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They are both good at teaching, but it does not feel the same as Claude's instruction. His lessons seemed less like they were out of a book, more real, more practical. Don't worry, princess. It always starts out slow. Remind me to send you the "and her sister was a witch" TikTok audio. Okay, I'll send you a message in a bit because it's almost break time. Lon was just as slow at training, but look at him now. Top rate knight and everything. Handsome himbo. Garland whips his hat around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. A compliment? But Jurian, that nickname, please. Not in front of the princess. Stop calling me Lan. Oh, but you're so much fun to tease, Lan. We stand a good himbo. We really do. They're so adorable. I love it. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Get some fresh air, wind down, gather thoughts, be alone for one monocle of a second in my life. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jurian seems unconvinced, but she eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. I watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurian's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of color in the forest, and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on this wooden sword. What was that? I glance around at my surroundings, and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. This all feels familiar. Is this Claude? But what if it isn't Claude? Do we gently put our hand over the intruder, or do we turn and point our sword at him? Sword, indeed. Even if it is Claude. Violence always. That seems to be the trend in this video. Violence always. Anytime a situation pulls up, like, should we fight back or nah? And the answer is yeah. I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand, but because I know it's him, I also know what he'd want me to do. I duck away from his hand and turn quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck, and for a few stunned moments, I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It's really him. But then Claude's hands have moved, and he has one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Good, Sonny. You realize you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude. He removes his hands, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Sonny. I feel my breath catch. When Claude holds out the rose pendant that I got for him, I feel my cheeks flush. You accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when I came to return it. Return it? Yes, you left it in my room, and so I only thought it appropriate to bring it back to you. Does he really think I left it there on accident? I basically threw it at him. That's not an accident. Why would I leave it in your room on accident? What? Nani? I bought it for you. I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely and... AKA, you were acting like a butthead. Claude's eyes widen, the surprise clear on his face. You bought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything that you've done for me. All the rescues, the training, the daily strolls, everything. Oh, this is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers as he stares at the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, and my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. Oh my god, too close, too close. You really are a good person, Sonny. You completed your second good deed. Oh yeah, we finally got good deeds! It only took several months. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? A kiss. I want a kiss. I look up at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. I feel like there's so much that I want from Claude. Like a kiss, for example. But I do not want to ask for something that might make him sad. Or sadder. So should we want a hug? Or should we just straight up tell him to fucking smile? I don't know, he's that close, we might as well get a dang hug out of it. I want you to smile. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing to ever say. I want you to smile. As if people can just control their emotions like that. I think in this one I'm gonna go with hug. It feels rude to tell people, like, I want you to smile. Aw. He looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. But before I can say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. Finally, some romance! He pulls me toward him, and in those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, and his fingers clasped gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing, and my knees feel weak. God, love! Something like this. Oh, he's blushing. He speaks right into my ear. It's a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Claude makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All of the warmness that was pressed against me one moment ago is gone. Well, that didn't look good. Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. I feel like I need to go read a Bible or something. Too spicy. This is literally E for everyone. It does get kind of spicy sometimes. I think this is one of the only routes where the love interest is shirtless a lot. Claude has a pained expression on his face, only making me more anxious. Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Oh, Sonny, don't worry about it. He lowers his hand with the pained smile slowly fading from his face. This does little to reassure me. Was it my fault you were locked in your room for so long? He just looks so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he feel bitter? I mean, I also feel bitter when I see lovebirds just flirting in open daylight in the middle, first thing in the morning. So, I mean, I would be feeling bitter for days on end after that too. But it's not for you to worry about, darling. For now, we should head back. It's late and you need rest. I just got back from patrol, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, sweet. You've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little with a gentle smile. The smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift, and I will treasure it always. Thank you. Now, shall we head back? I nod, and we silently walk back to the march-in together. When we make it back to the tavern, I feel tired, but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Okay, I feel like that's a really good place to pause for now. Always having to remember how the heck to save. There we go. I'm gonna pause there, do a quick little bio break for a bit. And then we'll get started playing some other shenanigans, some other craziness, some other games of note. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. So I'm gonna, just for time reasons and for future uploads so I don't have to do as much editing, I am going to briefly stop the stream here. Chaos! Yes, lots of chaos. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so bad. I'm a little afraid. I'm gonna briefly stop the stream here, and then start it back up again in probably about 10 minutes. So go drink some water, have a nutritious, delicious meal or a snack with protein and carbs and fruits and veggies or whatever, what have you. A midday reminder of your job is not your personality. And we'll be back soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, my lovey beans.